Hey everyone, welcome back to Rider Race. This week we're looking at Proverbs 5, 1 through 14. And I call this Bitter as Wormwood, which is taken directly from the text we're looking at. So, introduction. Proverbs 4, the last chapter, ended with a caution to ponder the path of our feet. We're not to swerve to the right or to the left, and to turn our feet away from evil. We're not to let our eyes look direct. We are to let our eyes look directly forward. That's where we should be looking. Now, our passage that we're looking at this week, we find a warning against what we might find when we wander from that straight path, the right path. When we're looking from left to right, what are we going to see when we look to the sides? What's going to pull us off that right path? And so that brings us to chapter 5, which is really kind of a progression of this thought. And then chapter 5 is all about sexual impurity and then the remedy for it. Now, these warnings have been applicable, always been applicable, to people in every age of society, of humanity. If you begin reading through the Bible, it does not take long before you get to the first recorded sexual sin in chapter 4. Chapter 4 of Genesis has the first sexual sin. Since then, from then all the way to us, Satan and the sinful nature of man have led many men and women into body and soul destroying immorality. This temptation has plagued every society. I often hear people complain about how bad it is today, as if immorality today is worse than it's ever been. Those who say this are not students of history. Yes, there's ups and downs, especially in societies where the church is strong and is engaged in the culture and politics. Then you have this kind of this growing of morality, this idea of as a whole, there's this strength, there's this pushing back against evil. But when the church is not there, in societies where the church has never been, then really you have rampant sin. Now, Charles Spurgeon said, if we play around the viper's hole, it is no wonder that we are bitten. An old proverb advises us not to play with sharp-edged tools lest we cut our fingers. It is a sin to trifle with sin. If we must play, we had better find harmless toys. That evil which caused Christ a bloody death is no fit theme for any man's sport. Playing with wickedness is a hazardous game. Sooner or later we will pluck the lion of sin by the beard, and we shall be torn to pieces. So that's Charles Spurgeon. Now, these warnings are all about the forbidden woman. Why? Is it because Solomon is picking on women? Does he have view that all men are virtuous? No. We must remember that this is written in the context of a father to a son. So of course, the warnings about sexual immorality are going to be stated in this way, because they're written from father to son. But this doesn't mean that women cannot apply this to themselves, right? There are just as many forbidden men out there as there are forbidden women. The sins of lust, adultery, fornication are just as much a problem, and have always been a problem, for men as they are for women. It's the same. So let us be diligent in applying these truths to our own situations. We can get caught up into those things, but when we make the application, we have to see, sexual morality is sexual immorality across the board. People get pulled in that no matter where they come from, no matter their gender, no matter what's going on, in their situation. Sexual morality is a temptation for all, pretty much. And even those who claim to be asexual or not attracted, well, there's a problem, right? There's some sexual sins in there going on. So that's where we're going today, this week. This is what we got coming up, is this idea. So we'll have 3 more videos this week. So next time we'll talk about the command to listen again, which Solomon restates, and then we'll look at the idea of sexual immorality in the rest of the week, and then have our conclusion. So that's the plan for this week. Come back next time. We'll talk a little bit about the command to listen